Yes lads, welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting a brand new rewire. We've got a 1-bedroom flat where we're totally gutting the whole place, rewiring the kitchen, bedroom, living room, the whole shebang. So let's show you what we're going to be up to today.
Welcome to Project Trunking. Why are we calling this Project Trunking? Because the entire flat is literally done in trunking. There's trunking for the mains coming in, there's trunking to pretty much every single socket, and the client wants to get rid of everything and renovate pretty much the whole flat. So that is what we're going to be doing today. But we've got a bit of working out to do today because we just need to obviously mark up chases. There's a bit of a process when it does come to doing a rewire, and how I like to do it is first of all investigate, work out how we're going to be running all the cable routes. In this circumstance, we've got this meter box inside the flat, and obviously the client don't want that, so we've got to try and come up with something to try and either hide this or move this. Have a look at this. So this is the old, literally MCB fuse box. The state of it, I don't know how anyone even managed to second fix that, but they did. And then we've got an SWA cable coming in, which is the main feed to the meter, which then supplies Henley blocks, which then supplies the fuse board. But obviously trying to get a new fuse board in there is going to be very, very difficult. So I'm going to maybe have a little workout today and maybe try and find the best solution for this. Obviously, in an ideal world, the best solution is to completely get rid of this whole meter box, because having this halfway in the hallway is not ideal at all. So we ideally want to get rid of this, and I'm thinking maybe moving it into this cupboard here. If we can isolate the supply downstairs and things like that, maybe we can move it into this old boiler cupboard, so then it's accessible, it's out of the way. But like I said, a lot of investigation today. But start of the process is going to be investigation, and then we are going to be starting to mark up chases, find cable routes. We have got the whole loft access, and apparently it's a really nice loft because they've already had the bathroom done. So show them the bathroom. Very nice bathroom, but they've had the bathroom done before having the rewire. A little bit different, but each their own. So we've got to keep them feeds. Obviously, that's part of the investigation as well, working out what he's done, bathroom fitter. So we've got to keep the bathroom feed, and we've got to keep this all live because that's all finished. And then it comes into bedroom number one. Bedroom number one, pretty easy to be fair. So we're just going to be going new switch heights, because the switch heights are proper. Well, nowadays it's about 1200, which I was explaining to the customer. It's about 1200. These mega high, don't know why they're that high, but is what it is. And then we've got TV area, which is just going to be one double socket. We're going to be replacing that one with exactly the same positioning. And then we've got bed pretty much center of this wall, bedside socket. That's oh yeah, pendant. Obviously back in the day they used to have the lights really close to the window. I think it was like to do with, don't quote me on it, I think it's to do with like the World War II, maybe, potentially. I think it was to do with like the World War II, and then when the war was going on, they turn it off. I don't know. Maybe to like contact each neighbour in the war, something like that. So we're going to be moving this pendant, centre of the room, new light switch. That's bedroom number one. Hallway, new switch, new pendant, new smoke alarm. Living room, when we was going through with the client what they wanted, they're a bit and ahhing where to put sockets and where to, like, they're going to have the locations of the sockets. But I always say to people, each corner of the room, just cover yourself. So then if you want to have the sofa one side of the room, you can move it to the other side, and you still got a socket point each side of the room. So I'd basically say TV point, socket each corner, and then in here we have got 6 spotlights, new switch, coving staying, so we've got to be very, very careful of this coving to obviously when we're doing our chasing out for this is going to be new socket down here. When we are chasing out, we've got to be very, very careful to try and get behind the coving and not damage the coving, which is going to be tricky, but nothing we ain't done before. But this is why I'm saying Project Trunking, because all the old sockets are literally trunking the whole way around. Like, it's just trunking galore in here. utility space. I think this was a balcony in the beginning, but utility space they are keeping, but basically they're going to be plasterboarding all the walls. They're going to have new rad here, and then we're going to be putting in new sockets. So I've got sockets come in as you walk here, pendant to go up there, switch by the front door, switch by this door here, and then in this area it's basically going to be washing machine, dryer, this floating cable which apparently goes to the shed. Like, what is even going on there? Haven't even got a clue about that. But that's what I'm saying about the investigation phase. So we've got to investigate, because ideally they want to keep the shed power, so they've got something down there. But I've said to them, if it don't test out right, then we're going to have to either pull in a new cable or just ditch it completely. That's the utility area. Heating thermostats. They're scrapping like the old Honeywell system. They're just going to go wireless. The boiler's moving. Like, this is pretty big project actually. The boiler's moving, so we're going to run a new supply to the boiler, refeed the thermostat, new bonding cables, and then the kitchen, complete rewire. Basically, plans have changed a little bit. They sent me over the plans, but the plans have changed a little bit. So we're just going to wait for them to be finalised. But fridge, freezer, isolators, it's going to be like a tall larder unit. Whenever I do kitchens, I put all the isolators in a tall larder, recessed, surface box, however it may be. But then you have all the isolators, so I've got a point where I can run from the fuse board to the isolators, then from the isolators to each appliance. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But we've just got to wait for these plans to be finalised, and then that is the rewire. So, well, project trunking. So we're going to get into this. It's going to be a good little project, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel for I'm probably going to cut this up into a few days. I've got 3 days on the first fix of this. Hopefully we get it done, because I'm mega busy. So yeah, we're going to start cracking, get the cable stripped out. Second stage, obviously after the investigation, strip out everything. Third stage, get everything marked up and start chasing. So let's get into it. So we just started the strip out in the investigation stage still, but we realised that having a look up in the loft is full up with insulation for one, and two, it is the old conduit wiring system, which back in the day most flats were, to be honest. But that is why there's so much trunking everywhere. So obviously this was a single socket that's been trunked down along to feed the rest of the sockets, but it's the old bush and lock ring conduit, metal backbox system, fly lead. They're even fly lead the lug to go into the new back box. But obviously with the amount of cables, new socket position, the conduit system is pretty much redundant, so we're going to be just making our own chases, our own cable routes, and potentially moving this board if we can. So that is the plan. So we're just going to carry on getting everything stripped out, back to bare bones, and then we're going to go from there. Got JP helping us today.
Come on.
He's just passed his AM2.
Yeah, boy.
Finally. So yeah, he's just passed his AM2, fully qualified now. What was the hardest bit of the AM2?
Oh, that's a good question actually.
Conduit?
Yeah, probably the conduit, steel conduit.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, I suppose.
And the fault finding.
Oh yeah, fault finding, yeah.
The fault finding.
But yeah, so he's all passed up, so congrats. Right, so got the laser out for the sockets, 450 bottom of the sockets, one by that side of the bed, another one by the other side of the bed, TV. Now we're just going to mark up for the switches, pretty much rule of thumb, always 450 bottom for sockets, 1250 for the top of the switches, 1250, 1200, use the stencil. Use the stencil to mark it out. Give it a little bit just in case they change the architrave. That's lovely. For the chase, to keep all the chases nice and neat, I usually know that the grommet is going to be about here So we leave that a little bit, and then so 54.5 off the wall. It's going to be the side of our chase. Mark that there, 54.5. Mark that up there, 54.5. And then we get this, which is just a scrap bit of batten, which is 30 mil wide, which is pretty much width of a chase. And then we just put that there, like that. And then this will give us the perfect guide for each chase. Pretty much there or thereabouts. So we're all stripped out. We've just started to put all our chases up. So we've got our switch drops, we've got our socket drops, we've stripped out all the trunking. So trunking project, no longer no trunking. So we've living room's done, bedroom is done. We just started having a look at this fuse board, starting to strip out here. But what did make me laugh is this flex. I don't know what it's looking like on the camera, but this flex here, which supplied this socket here, done this shed. So this goes out to the shed, and where this is such a nightmare fuse board situation to be in when you are adding an extra circuit or something like that, because you can't even get to the earth terminals right up there. So what they've done is they just cut the flex out there for the socket, and then just put in a new bit of earth. I mean it works. Yeah, it looks good for my house. So we're going to be using that as our temporary supply for the chaser and things like that. Bedroom, same thing again. We ping the laser around, chases up, looking all gravy. So now what we're going to be doing is having something to eat. We're going to go get something to eat because I'm absolutely starving. Jay's starving. And then when we come back, we're going to start chasing out. I'm going to send over to the client as well before we start chasing out anything extra that you need, because the last thing you want to do is chase everything out and then they go, I need a socket there, I forgot about that one. So we'll send a video over, and then yeah, all good to go. Obviously, because we've got the cove in, we need to be careful not to damage it because they want to keep it in this room. So what we've had to do is just get a pilot bit on the SDS and go through a bit of an angle and go behind the coving, so then we can run the cables behind there without damaging it. So if I damage it now, it's going to be funny. When it hits the plasterboards, to be fair. Yeah. Bang, straight through. So now we can just run our cables behind, no damage coving. It's easy as that, lads. It's easy one as eight. Fully defeated. Absolutely defeated. Day one on the trunking project. It's defeated us, it's defeated the Metabo Chaser. That is red hot. That has gone through some absolute graft today, but we are slowly but surely getting there. Day one is always difficult because it's working things out. It's always a little bit slow, but if you have a look at Jay's face, let me show you Jay's face. This is what we call graft, lads. Absolute grafter, mate. You say electricians don't graft, then you need seeing to, mate. But living room all chased out. So obviously previously I said about the coving going through that was all chased out, but this red brick is honestly so difficult to get through. I mean, I love the Metabo Chaser, but with a triple blade it is so difficult to get through. So yeah, it took ages doing that. Bedroom switch chase, sockets all chased out to the back box depth, and then obviously we've gone up into the ceiling so we can just drop our cables straight down, nice and easy. Pendant marked up, ready to go. This is our lovely tape for the bathroom, because they've had the brand new bathroom, we didn't want to get it dusty, so we are going to get something a little bit better, but that'll have to do for today. Utility, this was solid, mate, absolutely solid. I went through this with the 2 blades on the Metabo chaser, triple blade, like honestly it was tough to get through, but we've chased out all here. That's ready to go for the cables to go in. Like I said, today proper graft. Usually it's pretty slow, but we've smashed it out. Kitchen, obviously we had to wait for approval plans. Now we've got those. We've marked up everything for the kitchen pretty much. Worktop sockets, where the boilers go in, dishwasher, etc, etc, etc. So we just got that to sort out, but this is probably going to be like a separate job on its own, because obviously we've got to wait for the plumber to do his bits, and yeah. So tomorrow it will be the start of throwing in cables, sorting out the fuse board. Client has agreed if we can move all that, ditch all that and put it into this cupboard. So that is going to be a massive job in itself, but I'm defeated, Jay's defeated. Yeah. We're going to call it a day. It's 4:45. Usually I don't like working past 1 o'clock, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But we're going to try and get this rewire done in 3 days, hopefully, and then come back for the second fix. But thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is much appreciated, and I will catch you on the next one. Stay grafting, lads.